beautiful definition for enlightenment, that enlightenment means that there is no longer any corner of the consciousness remaining in darkness. Consciousness is a synonym for Atma, for the self, the true self. However, in full, one cannot explain or describe the Atma. The closest comparison is with light or space. Space cannot be cut, burnt, or otherwise destroyed. Space always remains space. One can divide space by fences or walls to create quote-unquote individual spheres that can be shaped or decorated differently. But as soon as the demarcations are removed, the undivided, unified space again emerges. And that's a great question, Razmi. But doesn't that happen upon death? That has been a big divide in many philosophical systems for thousands of years. Whether true enlightenment happens within a human life or at the moment of death. And the answer in yoga is that it happens at death, but at the death of our limited persona, our limited ego, also known as ego death. Because if we die with all of our ignorances, we get reborn with all of them too. We have to work on it while we are alive, while we are conscious. And that is why yoga is a very active philosophy, one that engages us in our life. Good question. Just as walls divide space, the body, mind, intellect, disposition, qualities, and experiences assembled at this quote-unquote person mark the boundaries of the self for a while. The body dies, the person changes, but not the Atma, not the true self. Our true self is the unborn, unchanging, and immortal. It is the quote-unquote king around whom the cosmic forces gather in the royal household and again disperse after they have left their palace. The body. The philosophical schools of India, particularly yoga philosophy, have examined the essential question regarding our existence. Who am I? And given us an answer to this. Strictly speaking, yoga is one of the 6 schools of Indian philosophy. But as we associate it with postures and exercises here in the West, we may not understand or appreciate that yoga is a fully fledged philosophy that not just hypothesizes over the nature of existence, but actually gives you practical tools in order to realize it and become one with the ultimate. Such is why, since our body is a part of this experience, there are yogic principles that apply to the body as well. Examine yourself. Are you the body, the mind, your qualities, thoughts, or feelings? Or are you something else? As you continue to search more deeply, you realize the more subtle aspects of your being, right up to the level of the elements that we talked about earlier. These are Akash, space, Vayu, air, Tejas, fire, Apas, water, and Prithvi, earth. Then finally you recognize that you are not the tattvas, the elements, or the gunas, the qualities, such as darkness, tamas, passion, rajas, or purity, sattva, and experience yourself as Sat, Chit, Anandam, truth, consciousness, bliss. That is your true nature. Satchit Anandam. It is the essence of the divine self that lives within you, the eternal, infinite, and immutable Atma. The only true reality within us is the Atma, the self. Everything else is unreality. Atma is known as Trikaladarshi. Trikala literally means the three times: the past, the present, the future, and Darshi means the one who sees, the knower, and the witness. So Trikala-darsha means the witness of both, of each, the past, the present, and the future. And also as Chaitanya, as pure awareness, the conscious witness of everything that happens. That was a short reading, but the next reading is all about karma, which is a big topic, so we'll leave that for the next session. We'll end with that the goal of yoga is to realize your true self as Sat Chit Ananda, as truth, consciousness, bliss. I'm sure we'll go into realizing that later on in the book, but thank you for listening.